When you and I present ourselves at an interview or to an audience or contribute to a meeting, we are dancing on the tips of icebergs. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I can remember years ago when I was at school, in my final year at school, preparing for my Oxford interview for a place to study history. And in preparation for that, I did a huge amount of reading, and in particular developed an interest in the Russian Revolution and the history of that period, and read all sorts of books and original text and so on. Well, text in English rather than in the original Russian. But I developed a huge amount of expertise within a very clearly defined, specific point in time, namely 1917, 1918, a little bit of 1919, huge depth. And then it came to the interview, and I did get the opportunity to speak about that subject at interview. And the interview lasted for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. I had spent hours and hours and hours working really hard to build up as much knowledge and expertise as I could on that subject. When the interview came, 20 minutes just went in the blink of an eye. I came out thinking, was that it? That was it. I didn't even scratch the surface of what I knew about the subject, because I had been so specific in my studies and really focused in on that area of particular interest. The point is that in the interview, just like any interview or presentation, this is a common experience. It's the curse of expertise, if you like, that you will only get an opportunity to communicate just the very tip of the iceberg. But somehow or other, as listeners, we do have a sense for whether or not there is ice below the surface. So it can feel a bit frustrating to only be on the very tip of the iceberg, but if you try to show the whole iceberg, you will bury your listener in too much detail, too much information, or it will just go on for too long. So it's something to consider. Know what your iceberg is. That helps. You've got to know your stuff. But focus in on the key things that would sit above the surface, that will be enough to give the listener the opportunity to join up the dots and figure out and sense what there is beneath. Because with the spoken word, transmitting high volume, detailed content doesn't work. It's just too much like hard work for the listener. So there's an idea for you to consider. If you're watching this anywhere other than on my website, check out simonbucknell.com. It's my digital home online, and or on LinkedIn. Do follow me. We'll be delighted to connect with you there. A thumbs up or a comment. If you're watching this on LinkedIn, I'll be thrilled. In the meantime, I wish you well and speak soon.